Welcome back to our channel. Hope you have relaxing moments listening to stories. We invite you to embrace the moment by liking the video, sharing your reflections in the comments, and subscribing to remain connected with our latest narratives. It was an ordinary Wednesday, a day that softly merged with the tapestry of time, each moment flowing into the next. With my coffee in hand, I settled into my desk, embracing the familiar rhythm of the day. I sifted through emails, crafted responses, and engaged with the endless flow of tasks that awaited my attention. At 43, life had settled into a rhythm that wrapped around me like a familiar embrace. My days flowed with a familiar rhythm, surrounded by cherished friends and the comfort of my work. Everything felt, in a way, comforting. Yet that afternoon, an unexpected moment unfolded, one I could never have foreseen, not even in my wildest dreams. The phone chimed softly. It was a number I didn't recognize, one I typically let slip by. Yet, for some inexplicable reason, I found myself answering. "Hello," I said, my voice carrying a hint of vulnerability that I couldn't quite shake off. "Hello, is this Olivia Carter?" whispered a voice from the other end. It was seamless, expertly done, and just intimate enough to send a flutter through my heart. I paused for a moment, caught in the weight of the moment before I found my voice. "Indeed, I am here, ready to engage. This is James Harrison, your supervisor. How are you feeling today?" James Harrison, my supervisor at the marketing firm for the past 12 years, called unexpectedly. I was surprised to hear from him, as his tone seemed different than usual. "I'm well, simply navigating through the familiar rhythms of life. What about you, Mark?" A gentle silence lingered on the other end of the line. The soft rustle of papers mingled with the gentle rhythm of fingers dancing across the surface of a desk. There was an unspoken tension in the air, a subtle pause in his demeanor that stirred a sense of unease within me. "I'm feeling quite good, Sarah. But dear, I feel the need to share something significant with you." A flutter stirred within me. Significant? We weren't expecting any evaluations, and we had just completed the significant project with the client. What prompted the call? My thoughts danced through a myriad of scenarios, each one more troubling than the last. "Is everything all right?" I inquired, a peculiar tightness forming in my throat. There was a soft laugh on the other end, yet it carried a weight of deeper emotions. The atmosphere was charged with an undeniable intensity. "All is well, there's no need for concern. In truth, it's more than just fine. I believe this will bring you joy." I released a soft breath, seeking to find my center. Was he on the verge of presenting me with a raise or unveiling a significant new opportunity? Perhaps he desired for me to embrace greater responsibility. The possibilities unfurled like a delicate bloom, yet the conversation carried an air of tension, as if it were dancing on the edge of something unspoken. What was it about his voice that stirred something within me? What's with the somber vibe? It felt unusual. "All right," I replied, attempting to calm the fluttering in my chest. "What's happening?" "Well, Sarah, we've been reflecting on your journey and the moments that have shaped your performance over the past year. I must express how you've truly surpassed all that I anticipated, and I have something to share with you, something I believe will pique your interest." All right. Now my curiosity was piqued. Perhaps I was overanalyzing, yet I couldn't suppress the thrill that was stirring within me. Is it possible that this could lead to a promotion? A fresh endeavor that invites greater attention? "Please, go on," I murmured, my voice soft and inviting. "Sarah, what are your thoughts on embracing a new opportunity within the company? A choice that feels more intimate and special." My heart quickened. A fresh opportunity awaits. Something special? I found myself reflecting, realizing that the thought of a new role had never crossed my mind. I felt at ease in my surroundings, yet an intriguing sense of curiosity began to stir within me. I found myself yearning for deeper understanding. "What do you imply by exclusive?" I inquired. He laughed, this time with a touch more warmth, yet there was still something uniquely different about it. "While I can't share all the specifics at this moment, this chance would truly elevate your presence. You would be embodying the essence of the company on a new project that has the potential to elevate your career to new heights. It would encompass extensive journeys, engaging discussions with esteemed clients, and naturally, you would be collaborating closely with me. A flutter danced within my chest. This took me by surprise. I had been pouring my heart and soul into my work, yet I never expected anything quite like this to unfold. I had found solace in the routine, yet his words painted a picture of liberation, an invitation to soar beyond the ordinary and embrace the fullness of life. Wow, that sounds truly enchanting, I replied, a touch breathless. Mark's voice took on a gentle warmth. Indeed, and I believe you are prepared for this, Sarah. Your journey with us has been significant, and I sense that this is the natural progression for you. Before we delve deeper, I want to ensure this is truly something you desire. It would require deep dedication and a weight of responsibility. I'll be honest, the journey is far from simple. I reclined in my chair, absorbing the weight of his words. A part of me ignited with a thrill, while another part fluttered with a hint of apprehension. There was so much to ponder. But when had I ever shied away from a challenge? When had I ever shied away from a chance to evolve? What level of devotion are we exploring? I inquired, my tone calm and unwavering. Mark inhaled slowly, gathering his thoughts before he spoke. It seems this will demand a significant portion of your time, Sarah. There will be moments of deep personal sacrifice, and I seek a connection with someone I can trust wholeheartedly for this journey. There's no space for uncertainty. I nodded softly, even though he was unaware of my silent affirmation. The tension was palpable, and I felt it deeply. Yet, a stirring within me, perhaps a blend of intrigue, a yearning for transformation, or simply the thrill of being acknowledged, urged me onward. I feel you. I'm intrigued, I replied, my tone steady, even as my thoughts danced in a whirlwind. Mark lingered for a moment, as if contemplating a delicate thought. Then, in a tone that felt intimate and inviting, he said, "Good. There's something else I wish to share with you." Mark's voice grew serious, as if he had something important to share. For a moment, I wondered if the silence was merely a figment of my imagination, but then he spoke once more, his words flowing with a measured grace. Before we move forward, Sarah, I must share something sincere with you. I straightened my posture, my fingers gently gripping the phone with a sense of anticipation. This had transcended the mere confines of work. There was an unspoken connection, a deeper intimacy lingering in the atmosphere. A delicate change in the conversation washed over me, stirring a sense of unease that I couldn't quite articulate. Certainly, I responded, my voice laced with a thrilling sense of expectation. What's happening? He let out a soft, lingering breath. It was a sigh that spoke of deeper feelings, a release that hinted at something more profound than mere obligations. No, this one felt more substantial, as if it were a burden he had been shouldering for an eternity. Sarah, I've been observing your work with a depth that you might not fully appreciate, he said, and I've discovered something about you, something truly remarkable. His words enveloped me unexpectedly. I had poured my heart and soul into my efforts over the years, yet I never saw myself as extraordinary in that light. Indeed, I excelled in my role, yet I often felt like just another piece in the vast machinery, didn't I? Nothing particularly remarkable. Yet, the sincerity in Mark's voice, carrying a hint of closeness, caused me to reconsider that feeling. Mark, your kind words mean a lot to me, but... I began to voice my concerns, but he silenced me softly. Sarah, please, just take a moment to listen to me. I don't intend this solely in a professional manner, he said, his voice rich with significance. I'm sharing my thoughts on a particular subject. Is there more to explore? A flutter stirred within me once more. Is there more to explore? I whispered, struggling to maintain my composure. The entire situation was beginning to take on an unusual quality. Was he hinting at something deeper than just a career opportunity? Did I misunderstand the meaning behind his words? A flutter of excitement coursed through me, as a wave of nostalgia brought back that familiar sense of unease. It was an experience I hadn't embraced in years, a delicate state of vulnerability, uncertainty, and a gentle sense of imbalance. Indeed, he responded. I've been collaborating with you for quite some time, Sarah, and I've come to understand that you are so much more than just a colleague. I recognize a depth in you that extends far beyond our professional lives. Mark, I started anew, attempting to unravel the mystery of his enigmatic words, yet he continued, his voice adopting a gentler, almost intimate quality. It may seem unusual, but I find myself holding a profound admiration for you. It's not solely your dedication to your work, but the essence of who you are that captivates me. Your presence, the essence of your beliefs, the strength of your character. There's an undeniable connection between us that fills me with the hope that we could achieve so much more together, if you catch my drift. His words carried weight, making me pause to absorb their meaning. I found myself lost in his words, as the distinction between professional admiration and deeper feelings began to intertwine. Was I delving too deeply into this? Was he treading too close to the edge? I find myself at a loss for words, I whispered, caught in a swirl of emotions. A part of me yearned to brush aside his words, yet another part, one I couldn't fully command, sensed the gentle warmth in his voice. There was an irresistible attraction, as if I were on the brink of an experience that eluded my understanding, yet stirred a deep yearning within me to discover more. I understand this may come as a surprise, and I'm not urging you to decide anything at this moment, he continued, his voice soft yet laced with a subtle sense of urgency. I wanted to be honest about how much I appreciate working with you, and I hope you see the same value in our collaboration. My heart raced within me, a rhythm echoing the intensity of the moment. The moment felt charged, as if a decision hung in the air, and the depth of his words enveloped me in a daze. His praise had certainly made me feel special, but this moment held a deeper significance. This experience was intimate, and it seemed as though I was entering a realm I had yet to explore. I had experienced love before, but this was an unexpected journey for my heart. Mark, I began to express myself, but once more, the words eluded me before I could complete my sentiment. What words could I possibly find for that moment? How might I gracefully maneuver through this intricate circumstance, particularly with him in a position of authority over me? I understand this is challenging, Mark said, attuned to my uncertainty. I pondered deeply on how to connect with you, yet I knew I had to speak from the heart. I could no longer keep my emotions concealed. I released a breath I hadn't realized I was holding, seeking to regain my composure. I took a deep breath, grounding myself in the conversation. I wanted to ensure I understood his words clearly and responded appropriately. I find myself at a loss for words, Mark, I finally murmured, my voice gentle yet laced with doubt. This is quite an overwhelming experience. The stillness on the other end of the line lingered, and for a fleeting moment, I questioned whether my words had ventured too far. Yet, Mark's voice gently pierced the quiet, his tone softened, as if he were offering me the room to breathe. I'm not urging you to hurry, Sarah. Allow yourself to ponder this, savor the moment, and when you feel prepared, share your thoughts with me. I released a trembling breath, seeking to calm the whirlwind of feelings within me. All right, I murmured softly, my thoughts swirling around me. I'll ponder it deeply. Mark appeared to pick up on my uncertainty, and I could nearly feel the gentle warmth of his smile through his words. I had a feeling you would. Whatever path you choose, my respect will always be with you. I simply wish to share my feelings with you. As the call concluded, I lingered in a state of reverie. What has just unfolded? Was I being carried away by a force beyond my grasp? Or had I been presented with a rare chance to evolve, both within myself and in my career? Uncertainty loomed ahead, yet amidst it all, one truth resonated within me: I had been transformed in that fleeting instant. A part of me stirred to life, and regardless of my choices, I knew I could never return to the person I once was before that call. The days following that call flowed together in a haze, each one more tumultuous than the one before. I moved through the rhythm of my daily life, meetings, emails, deadlines, but there was an undeniable shift in the air. My thoughts lingered on that conversation with Mark, his words echoing softly in my mind. The question lingered in my thoughts, an uninvited presence that I couldn't shake off. What was his true intention? What was it that I truly desired? I found myself suspended between two realms, one where I was simply a 43-year-old woman navigating the complexities of work, responsibilities, and personal life, and another where I was perceived by him as something deeper, something more significant. The emotions that began to blossom within me were impossible to overlook. The admiration I had always felt for Mark was now intertwined with a deep curiosity and an unnameable feeling that stirred within me. Yet, as time unfolded, a subtle transformation began to stir within me. I came to understand that I had been evading the one thing that stirred my deepest apprehensions, the thought of venturing beyond the familiar boundaries I had created for myself. I had devoted countless years to practicality, adhering to the anticipated journey. Perhaps it was the moment to surrender to the allure of the unknown, to let go and dive into the depths of possibility. In the end, what could possibly go wrong? Embracing the possibility of something fresh, something genuine, held a value that outweighed the uncertainty, didn't it? I felt a deep urge to connect with Mark in person. A phone call couldn't quite capture the depth of what had begun to unfold. I sought understanding, aware that the only path to it lay in embracing my emotions directly. I reached out to his office, inquiring if he could spare a moment for us to meet. As he gave his consent, a flutter of anticipation stirred within me. What if I spoke out of turn? What if this transformed everything between us forever? The following morning, I found myself at the office before dawn, wandering the parking lot, inhaling deeply to calm my racing heart. As I stepped into his office, the air was thick with a palpable sense of longing. Mark was seated at his desk, yet he rose the moment our eyes met. His smile radiated warmth and comfort, yet there lingered a subtle intensity, hinting that he too had been anticipating this moment. "Is that you, Sarah?" he murmured gently, his gaze intertwining with mine. "It brings me joy that you are here." I nodded, feeling a wave of emotion rise within me. I'd been reflecting deeply on our conversation. I started, my voice calm, even as a gentle excitement stirred within me. "I must share my truth with you. I find myself uncertain of the path ahead, yet I cannot dismiss the depth of my emotions. Your words have stirred something within me, Mark, and I've come to understand that I'm ready to embrace that uncertainty." Mark's gaze became tender, and in that moment, I caught a glimpse of a delicate vulnerability in his expression. It felt like he had been suspended in time, anticipating my reply, and now that it had arrived, he surrendered to a fleeting sense of ease. "Do you truly mean that?" he inquired, his voice soft and intimate. I nodded, my heart racing with an unspoken intensity. "Indeed, I truly mean it." In that lingering silence, we remained close, the intensity of the moment enveloping us both. It was a pivotal moment, filled with an intimate, silent connection that spoke volumes. And then Mark stepped closer, his hand reaching out gently, as if to explore the uncharted depths between them. It wasn't a grand gesture, yet there was an undeniable depth in the way he held my gaze, patiently inviting me to take the next step. I inhaled deeply, feeling the moment envelop me, and stepped forward with intention. The tension between us, once heavy with doubt, now resembled a delicate bridge, guiding us toward an unknown destination that neither of us could entirely foresee. Yet, in that instant, nothing else held significance. We were both ready to embrace the uncertainty that lay ahead, hand in hand. "Sarah," Mark whispered, his voice carrying a newfound warmth. "I always hoped to create a space where you felt comfortable. I wanted to share my feelings with you." "I understand," I responded gently. "And I'm truly grateful you chose to do so." His smile blossomed, radiating warmth and sincerity. "I'm uncertain about what lies ahead for us, but I'm eager to explore it together if you are." I nodded, a gentle wave of tranquility enveloping me. Whatever this was, whatever it might evolve into, I felt prepared. It was not merely the professional risks that drew me in, but the profound journey of self-discovery that unfolded when I dared to open my heart to someone who recognized the depth of my being, beyond the confines of my work. As we stood there, a silent connection enveloping us, I understood that the true journey transcended merely entering a new chapter with Mark. It was about welcoming the unknown in life and permitting myself to be open, to bond, to evolve, and to uncover aspects of my being that I had kept concealed for far too long. The weeks that followed were filled with their own challenges. There were instances of uncertainty, times when the boundary between the professional and the personal seemed to fade away. Yet, amidst everything, Mark and I nurtured a deep respect that held us steady. Our connection, whether it stayed within the bounds of professionalism or blossomed into something deeper, was rooted in a profound sense of trust and mutual understanding. And for once in my life, I embraced the journey ahead, unafraid of the path it would lead me down. As I stepped out of his office that day, a gentle warmth of pride enveloped me. I had come to a conclusion that belonged solely to me, and in that moment, I understood the depth of my own transformation. This was my tale, woven with threads of openness, sincerity, and the bravery to embrace the uncharted. And whatever unfolded after, I felt a deep sense of readiness within me. Thank you for listening, have fun and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to update the latest stories.